Hey Shoujo fans! Well, today we have something extra sweet and special for you. We're here with voice actress Abby Trott. You may know her as the voice of Nezuko Kamado in Demon Slayer, or perhaps Momo Ayase in Dandadan, but we're here to talk about her role today as Akane Kinoshita in My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999, and we'd like to talk a bit about the show and also her career a little bit. So first and foremost, thank you so much, Abby, for speaking with us today. We're thrilled to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Hi, everybody.
Absolutely. So honestly, to jump right on in, what was the first anime you ever watched?
That, that is a hard question. It was whatever was on TV when I was a kid, which I
Mhm.
believe was Pokemon. And
Oh, awesome.
I did watch like Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, but I think
Mm.
Pokemon might have been first. My friend would we would go to my house after school and I was the anime nerd. So I wanted to watch Pokemon and she did not. So she would be like dragging me away from the television screen and I was trying to watch Pikachu. But
Yeah.
yeah, that
Oh,
was probably my first one.
I love that. I grew up with Pokemon Indigo League as well. It's like a core memory of mine, just like me and my brother each on each couch, just like watching Pokemon together. So I love
Aw.
that.
Yeah. I love that you're twinning. I think my first was like Sailor Moon, which I think that was also something that Gianna watched. I also watched
Yeah.
Pokemon as well, but thinking back to it, it's a similar of what was on TV at the time. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, anime was not as easy to have access to back
Mm,
then, back in the
Hmm.
day.
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. I guess the next thing that we want to ask is, of course, about shoujo. So, do you have a favorite shoujo anime, show, or movie?
Yeah, so interestingly, I haven't seen that much shoujo anime, I don't think. Like I've seen episodes here and there of like Fruits Basket and stuff, but I haven't seen like whole series. I
Mm.
think My Love Story with Yamada-kun is like the first whole like season one of a shoujo anime technically that I've watched. I have other favorites that are like kind of shoujo-ish, but not like I feel like
Mm.
Inuyasha is kind of shoujo, but it's classified as a shonen.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
like there's other movies like Suzume that came out. I love that movie. I'm like, I don't know
Mm.
if you classify it as a shoujo per se. So, any recommendations?
Ooh.
Besides
So
Sailor Moon,
many.
besides Sailor Moon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Film wise, we really like Whisper of the Heart.
Love Whisper of the
You
Heart.
know,
It's a
that's a
Studio Ghibli
loophole.
film.
I know that one and I still haven't seen it, which is crazy.
Yes.
I think I own it actually and I still haven't watched it.
Oh, wow.
So, okay,
No.
adding that to the list.
It's
Definitely.
very good. Only yesterday. I feel like that's like a
Oh yeah,
great coming of
I've seen
age.
that
Yeah.
one.
Okay,
That's a
yeah,
good one.
yeah.
Yeah, it's spectacular. Like, really
Okay.
emotional movie to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I think My Happy Marriage is also it's on
Oh, yeah.
Netflix and that's pretty fun as well. And there's
That's
like
a
some
series.
action.
Hmm.
It's action. There's like some action elements to it and supernatural stuff as well, which is
Yeah.
nice. Yeah.
Ooh, that
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say that it's a boss move that is like your first like shoujo full out is the one that you started.
Right? Yeah, that's actually really cool.
So,
Unintentional. No, it's
mm,
funny because like we started recording and I was like, I love this show. I think I love this anime. It's so cute. And
mm,
so of course I had to watch all of it. And I when I was in Japan, I bought the manga too in Japanese to try to practice my Japanese. I think it's just because I haven't seen enough shoujo, but I was really excited about Yamada. And I think also because I grew up with two brothers, I think that's maybe why I kind of tend to go for the shonen stuff, but I need to expand my anime viewing repertoire.
I grew up with two brothers too, so I can relate to that. I do have
Hmm.
like some like masculine things that I grew up like really into. Like to this day, I have like a love, love, love for the Mario franchise and stuff like that. And that's because my brother had me be player two and stuff like that. So I totally relate in that way.
Mm.
yeah. I guess before we do get into gaming, because we are going to touch on that,
Mm.
or I guess we could sort of touch on it with this question in a sense. So, in My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999, there is the game Forest of Savior, and all of the characters have these like mini avatars. And so we wanted to ask you, like, what do you think your avatar in Force of Savior would look like if you could play the game yourself?
It's funny because I feel like I'm a lot like Akane in a lot of ways. And one of those ways is like I would definitely have cat ears on my avatar. And
Yeah.
maybe though, maybe I would have some sort of a demonic element as well, like little bat wings or something.
I love
Something
that.
I
something like
love
a
that.
little mischievous or a little evil, because hers is like so cute and innocent
Hmm.
looking.
Yeah.
I love like spooky cat vibes. That's amazing.
Yeah, spooky cat vibes. That would be me.
That's great. So, keeping it in the realm of games, you've lent your voice to many video game characters over the years, from games like Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice, Fire Emblem, and most recently, Marvel Rivals. But would you yourself consider yourself a gamer, or are there like any games in particular that you like to play in your spare time?
I feel like I used to be much more of a gamer just because I had more time. I love
Hmm.
video games, and some of my favorites, I love Nintendo a lot, so I played
Awesome.
most of the like Zelda games, and I was still recently picking my way through Tears of the Kingdom trying to get everything, which is kind of insane because I refused to use a strategy guide and I was just like walking around with my Korok mask on trying to find all the Koroks. And I think I'm at a point where I'm like, I need to stop. This is too much. There's too many things. But I love open world games like that. And I'm a huge fan of Metroid too. Like the older
Okay.
Metroid games. Super Metroid is one of my favorite games ever. And yeah, I've played like Final Fantasies, I play games when I can here and there, but I think Tears of the Kingdom is the last game that I played.
What a feat of strength to go for completionist stuff without a guide. You're stronger than me.
Strength or stupidity? That was
No,
like,
not
I was like, I
stupidity. Not at
can't.
No,
all.
not at all. So, staying within the realm of video games, you beautifully performed the English version of the main theme for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Lifelight. Would you consider singing a passion of yours alongside voice acting and voiceover?
Definitely. I love singing. It was one of those hobbies kind of growing up. Like when I was a kid, I liked to sing songs a lot. And weirdly, I had such stage fright with singing. I mean, I had stage fright with theater and stuff as well when I was a kid. But when it came to singing, it was like deathly afraid. I was
Oh,
deathly
wow.
afraid to sing in front of
Mm.
other people. And I don't know why. I don't know why it was so strong, but the more I did it, like I joined a cappella in high school and I did some musicals on stage, the more I got used to that and performing in front of people and the stage fright, gets better. But
Yeah.
I never thought that I would be paid to sing, which is it's kind of crazy to me. But my first job as a singer was doing some children's musicals on stage one summer. We were doing Cinderella and Beauty and the Beast around New England, and that kind of solidified for me that that could be potentially a job as well. Like I
Hmm.
could
Yeah.
perform as a singer. Somebody paid me money to sing, so that's
Yeah.
cool. And then later in life, I was auditioning for things for, like backup singing here and there, or I've done some jingles for commercials and stuff like that. But the Smash Brothers theme was like the coolest thing I've
That's
ever
so
done.
cool. Yeah.
I'm a huge Nintendo fan. So when I found out what it was for, because initially when I auditioned, I didn't know what it was. And then they
Oh,
told me, and I cried because I was so
Mm.
overcome with fear and and excitement. I was afraid
yeah.
because I was still like, are you sure Nintendo wants to have me sing the song? Like me, really? It's still hard
Yeah.
for me to believe that that even happened. But yes, singing is a passion. And I wish that I had more time to do more stuff with music and singing. Voiceover has become my main focus, and I kind of spend most of my time doing that. And also, it's kind of hard to do both for me because if I'm doing a role that is vocally intense, my singing voice isn't,
Mm.
ready to go at any moment. I need to do
Yeah.
vocal rest, and like I might not be able to hit notes the way you should sometimes.
Hmm.
So singing has kind of been on the back burner for a little bit.
Being pulled in creative directions can sometimes like It's like you want to be able to do all the things, but it's like I don't have time to do all the things. But that's so
Yeah,
awesome. Oh my gosh. I can imagine like the imposter syndrome feeling as well when it's like, wow, I've been a fan of
big
this thing
time.
for so long and now I get to be a part of it. What? What do you mean?
Yeah, big time. To the point where, like I said, even though I did book the job and it happened, I still can't believe that it happened and it's me. And I
Yeah.
still feel like I'm like, really? Are you sure? But but yeah.
Yeah. Well, in regards to singing, do you have a favorite genre that you like to sing or is it just like anything?
It's whatever song is good. I think I listen
Yeah.
to maybe like alt rock or indie rock
Mm.
mostly. But I like to sing everything. Like I love to
Hmm.
go to karaoke and I like to sing songs that I don't like to listen to even. Like some musicals, some
Okay.
songs, I'm like, I'm not gonna listen to that, but I want to sing it. It's more fun to perform. Do you guys like karaoke?
Yes, I love karaoke. I like to sing like songs from actually different musicals as well. Because I mean, I don't regularly listen to songs from musicals and stuff, but
Mhm.
I I love Chicago. So it's like I get in there and it's like, okay, this is my moment. Yes, I'm on the stage, the fake stage, and I'm singing all the words. I mean, I love other songs as well, but I think I tend to do more musicals if I'm doing karaoke.
I feel like I
Hmm.
also gravitate towards musical theater when I do karaoke too, because I'm also a professional musician, so I play a lot of
Oh.
covers all the
Mm.
time. So it's like those are usually the songs people want to sing at karaoke. I'm like, I want me and my best friend to do the Tango Maureen right now. Like that's what I'm going to. Do you ever create your own songs? Are you like a songwriter in any way?
Kind of. I have written songs before. Usually they're like comedy parody songs.
Oh,
But
that's fun. That's so
like
cool.
actually I used to write songs when I lived in Japan for a while and I would go to karaoke a lot. And me and my friends would write alternate lyrics to songs and then bring them
Oh,
to the karaoke and perform the
that's
weird
so
lyrics.
fun.
It's so much fun. But I've written some songs here and there. I have trouble finishing songs. And I also
Okay.
I think I'm better at writing melodies than I am at lyrics. So
Mm.
I'll be driving. I have so many voice memos on my phone of
Yeah.
melodies that I've come up with for songs that I don't have words to and I never finish. So maybe someday I will complete them.
I find that very relatable myself.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like maybe one day I'll find like that hour or two.
Someday.
Do you actually play any other instruments in addition to voice, or is voice like your main thing?
I do. I grew up playing flute, and
Oh,
a little
nice.
piano, and I learned some chords on the guitar, but I wouldn't say I play the guitar. It doesn't qualify. And I also, when I lived in Japan, I learned shakuhachi, which is a Japanese bamboo flute. And that
Oh,
is my
wow.
favorite
Mm.
instrument. I love the shakuhachi. You've heard it before, especially I know because you watch anime. You've heard it.
Oh,
Yes.
wow. It's like
It
I've heard
is.
it, but I don't know what it looks like. That's neat.
Yeah, it's like a I'd bring it to you, it's all in the other room. It's like a flute about this long. The name shakuhachi, I believe, is referring to the length of it. Ishaku hasun is like the
Mm.
measurement length of the instrument.
Oh,
And
okay.
it's just made out of bamboo and you blow across it the top like you would a flute, but you're holding it like a clarinet as opposed to like a flute on the
Neat.
side.
Okay.
Yeah. And it sounds like hauntingly beautiful.
That sounds
Mm.
really cool. That sounds like a really cool instrument. So speaking of you living in Japan, prior to getting your start in voice acting, you actually worked in Japan as well. Would you be able to tell us about that experience at all? Is there like any favorite or funny memory that might stand out from that time in your life?
Yeah, so I initially moved to Japan just to travel. So I applied to the JET program. I don't know if you're familiar.
Yeah.
You've heard of it?
Yes,
So
yes.
it's a teaching exchange program for those
Okay.
listening who have never heard of it. And it's the largest, I think it's still the largest teaching exchange program in the world, where Japan will bring in foreigners from any English speaking country, like the United States, Ireland, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, everywhere. So you've got quite a diverse array of English tutors and you're placed in schools across Japan. So I didn't know where I was going to be sent, and I ended up living in Yurihonjo City in Akita, Japan, which is in the
Mm.
northern part of Japan. and there's a lot of snow in the winter, but I'm from Massachusetts, so I was used to it. I'm fine with it. It is absolutely beautiful up there. And I heard that Studio Ghibli actually has used Akita as inspiration for some of its gorgeous backgrounds, like the green and the blue
Mm.
sky. It really
Hmm.
looks like that there. It's incredible. So I moved there and I was just going to stay for a year. And I had so much fun that I stayed for 2 years. And during that time, I was tutoring English and thinking about, man, I should really probably get back to acting and performing. And
Hmm.
that was my real passion. And it came out because like all I wanted to do was go to karaoke. And I ended up
Mm.
performing like some songs at the middle school that I taught at. And I just really wanted to do performance in some capacity. A funny memory that I have from that time is like one time I was driving and of course recording voice memos on
Of
my
course.
phone. And these voice memos were just me having a conversation with myself with different character voices. So I recorded that and I forgot about it. And then I was driving a friend somewhere and I plugged in my phone and it auto played that recording. And I was like so mortified. I was so embarrassed.
Oh.
Oh man.
And he thought it was the funniest thing he'd ever heard. He was laughing at me. And then he was like, "Oh, what do you want to do? Like a voiceover or something?" And I was like, "Actually, yeah, I do."
Oh.
And like that, it kind of really clicked for me that that was a passion.
Mm.
And then years later, I got to do some of that professionally. So it paid
That's
off. I
awesome.
don't know.
I
Yeah.
think it was
That was
worth
worth
it, that little
it.
bit of embarrassment.
Slight embarrassment, worth it.
Yeah. I would have just evaporated into thin air.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
just you were prepared. You're like, I'm gonna preemptively make this voice demo and like Kismet. Like it just decided to just start playing.
Yes.
It
It was just
decided,
out
yeah.
there in the world.
Yeah.
Too bad I had zero self-esteem and confidence at the time. So I was
Oh.
like, oh no. But
Yeah.
things are good now.
Well, to get into voice acting, and particularly why we're here today, we wanted to ask you what was the biggest challenge that you faced while tackling the role of Akane Kinoshita?
I didn't really hit many challenges with
Mm.
Akane because she is so relatable and her voice is like pretty close to my voice, slightly higher register, but she's just so relatable that I remember when we were recording our director, Jalen, and adapter. Like we would do a take and then he would just be like, "Oh, okay, great. Let's move on." And
Nice.
that I feel like that rarely happens. Like you do a few takes and you kind of feel it out, but it just felt like natural to be Akane. So yeah, she's one of the easier, more comfortable characters I've gotten to voice.
Yeah, no, I love that because I think that you being able to be so comfortable, it showed like while we were watching and everything. It's just
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, like, I mean, of course, perfect, but then it's like at ease, like, yeah, like the everyday girl is kind of like how Akane comes across. And like you could
Yeah.
also hear it as well.
I feel
Mm,
like I said a few times, like during our coverage, about like, oh, she's so relatable, and like I feel like I've said it so many times during like this series in particular. Like
Hmm.
I
yeah,
love Akane. I feel like sometimes she just like acts out what we're all thinking, and maybe some of us aren't as
totally.
bold as her because she'll just act it out. I
Yeah.
love that.
Definitely. Yeah, she is incredibly relatable with
Mhm.
all of her flaws.
Did you draw from previous life experiences in order to embody what Akane was feeling at certain points? And if you did, are you open to sharing one story or example?
Don't know if I have a specific example. I think whenever I'm voice acting or acting, I do that kind of automatically.
Mm.
But when the writing is good and the animation is good, I also find that just being in the scene, if you're in the moment, you feel those things. If
Yeah.
you let them happen to you, that makes for a relatable, like, and real delivery of the line.
Mm.
One thing about dubbing anime is it really helps me get immersed in the story because it's usually already animated and we can see the scene before we dub it. Therefore, I can kind of feel things as they're happening. But I can't think
Mhm.
of any specific moment that I drew upon.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
What is your favorite moment of the series and why?
I have a few. I really love when Eita steps up in the cafe when those dudes are there, like around
We
them.
love
Yes.
Eita. We're
Eita's
like
my
Eita
favorite.
stands. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love Eita, and especially in that moment, solidified my. I was just like, yes, 100%
Yeah.
Eita, you're the best. Later in the series, when Akane gets sick and Yamada
Mm,
runs to her rescue, saves her.
Yeah.
It's just
yes.
classic romance. I love it.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Please
He
pick
takes
me up
care of
from the
her.
bike rack area and like carry me to safety.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a favorite moment?
Oh.
Mm,
Oh man. I mean, the Eita reveal in general was really great.
Oh, the reveal, yeah.
Yeah, I
yeah.
loved that. Honestly, that whole arc of Yamada taking care of Akane when she was sick was just like, I know there's been the love interest takes care of the lead or vice versa done a lot of
hmm
times before, but
Mm,
he was just so gentle and sweet, and you can see like how much his feelings had grown for her throughout the series. I felt like it was like really nice to like showcase that
hmm
like in a really tangible way for us. I really liked that.
yeah.
hmm
I like the different slice of life parts. So, like, you can see Akane doing her skincare, or when Momo would come over and then they're like doing nails.
Hmm.
mm
Um, I also really liked, like, I think at one point Akane's hair gets in Yamada's eye, and so
Yeah.
she's trying to like
Oh,
blow it, and then
I
he's
liked
like,
that part a lot.
yeah, and so he's like, oh, feelings, and I'm like, yes, feelings.
Yeah.
So I really love stuff like that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that this show does. Like those little awkward moments, like
Yeah,
make for such good romance. I love it.
I
Mm.
love it too.
I guess another question we have is specifically about the love confession. So, okay, so they Akane gets Yamada to promise to like call her the next day because he admits that he likes her and everything, and she's just like, I want to make sure that this is real, it's not a dream and stuff. But the phone call is off screen. So we wanted to know, like, what were your feelings, or what do you think about the phone confession portion being off screen?
I don't remember that like being off screen. Is it really?
It,
Yeah, because it's like we
yeah.
get that like moment of them kind of having their confession moment when Akane's
Yeah,
like
yeah. But
drunk and
she's
stuff like
drunk.
that.
Yeah.
And then they're
Yeah.
like, we're gonna talk about this on the phone tomorrow when like you're sober and you're arrested, and then like we just don't get to see that phone
They
call.
never oh my gosh, I don't know
We
if I
just,
realized that.
yeah, we just know that it happened, but we
Yeah.
don't get to see it. So it's like, Akane, we don't get to see you say it. Like, I like you
That's
too.
Yeah.
that's so funny. I think like he knows, he knows.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's
So I
gotta.
don't know if we need the confession, but that is really funny. I never noticed that detail. Were you guys mad?
A little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just like, wait. This time I was like, okay, Yamada, we got it. Yes. Akane. Akane,
She doesn't get
no.
her chance.
Oh no. We're
Yeah.
gonna have to reenact that moment at a panel at
Oh
an
my
anime
God,
convention
yes.
someday. We'll have to
We'll
make
be
it our.
there.
Yes.
So, speaking of things in the series that we had some interesting comments on, so there is a character, Tsubaki, who's like friends
Mm.
with Yamada at school. And we had some, I got more so me, I feel like more than Chika, had some like colorful things to say about Tsubaki's role in the story. We were like, we think that maybe she kind of created her own dilemma by like holding back her feelings when she didn't like really have a reason to, but she's like, I'm gonna lose him to a girl someday. But it's like you could just like tell him. So we were just curious, like if you had any thoughts on Tsubaki as a character or her role in the story at all.
I can empathize with Tsubaki.
Yeah.
You know, it's so hard to tell someone that you have feelings for them, especially because I don't think she had any reciprocation. So
Yeah.
there's no indication that Yamada liked her at all. So
Hmm.
I think that she knew already that it
Yeah.
wasn't going to happen, but she
Hmm.
still couldn't help loving him. So she had to confess in order to be able to move on with her life. So it's kind of tragic. I feel
It
bad for
is.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feel bad for
Yeah. No,
her.
That is valid, though. Yeah.
Yeah. See, if I was gonna confess, it's like, well, before X changed things, like you could just look at people's like likes. It's like if I like this person, let me go look at their likes and see if I still like them. Now, it's like I'll find a different way. It's like, I don't know if this is gonna work out. I need to find a way to like sabotage it to myself
Just
before
scroll
I
back on
embarrass
their
myself.
Instagram feed. Just like see their
Right.
old Instagram
Yeah.
posts.
Yeah. Who do you like? Who are you following? I look nothing like them. Okay.
Aw. Yeah, it's also interesting because Yamada and Tsubaki, they have kind of similar personalities.
They do.
So
Yeah.
Mm,
I think that like Akane balances him out. They balance each
yeah.
other out better. They are like more complementary. And that's not to say that two people with the same personality can't
Be
get along and be
Yeah.
in a
together. Yeah.
relationship,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
but yeah.
It's like grumpy sunshine, but Yamada's not really grumpy. It's just more stoic, but
Mm-hmm.
Like stoic, energetic, kind of.
mm.
Yeah.
Stoic, energetic.
That's the new one.
Okay. Are there any like key symbols, I guess, in the series that you think perfectly encompass what Akane's journey is all about? Which is tentatively for our listeners, this is like our sprinkles on top, which is like symbolism type thing. But yeah, any key symbols that stood out to you?
I think probably like her necklace, the whole necklace,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
her losing it and it breaking and like it's literally shaped like a heart too. I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was kind of symbolic of her, old relationship, and then Yamada gives it back to her and she's eventually able to move on. But I think that is like a literal symbol of
Yeah.
her heart.
Oh, yeah.
Do you guys have any other things that you would think of?
There was those instances of like the full moon.
Yeah.
I'm like a moon phase nerd. I think it was like episode 2 where like the forecast, the weather person was like, so like there's gonna be a full moon tonight, and like some people like think about and reflect on the things they want to like release in their life when there's a full moon, and that's when Akane and Momo are cleaning out all of those old things that her mom shipped to her. And that's
Mhm.
when she's like, the necklace is broken at this point and she decides to throw it out. So, like, that was a big symbol for me when I was watching the show.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I
Yeah.
think Yamada just kind of being princely, like if we were going to tie it
yeah.
into a fairy tale, he meets Akane at the Forest of Savior event and she loses her shoe and he's holding it up and it's very much so Cinderella.
Yeah,
Then towards the end of the series, like before the confession, like her shoe gets stuck and he has to give her shoe back again.
that's
So I was
right.
just like,
We
okay.
did talk about that when recording too. We're like the Cinderella story.
Yes,
That's a good
yes.
one, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I guess another question we have is what is the biggest takeaway that you have from your experience working on My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999?
I need to watch more JoJo anime. Uh,
Yes!
Also,
Yes.
Do
I
it!
learned that like that's I think is that my first shoujo. It's like my first shoujo lead, and it was really fun, and like it's definitely a different vibe recording something like that as opposed to a lot of the other things I work on.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah.
I do a lot of shonen stuff, and it's a lot of yelling and fighting, and that's fun too. But yeah, this show, just the overall tone and laid back vibes that some of the episodes have
mm.
is very comforting to record, I guess,
Yeah.
interestingly.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And I mean, it was nice for us too to like watch it and
Yeah.
everything. Like, I mean, of course, we watched it and we analyzed it and stuff so we could have our different segments. But then at the same time, it's like I could turn my brain off. And it's like, this is so fun to like
It's
get
so
into.
nice. Such a good
Yeah.
show. I looked forward to like sitting down and watching it every time just because, I mean, also as a person who loves games, it's like it's got games, it's got romance. It's so fun. I love everything about it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
But getting back to voice acting stuff, what would you say that you like the most about voice acting?
I like that I can play so many different characters.
Hmm.
I come from a theater background, and I've done a little bit of on-camera stuff, but there's only so many roles that I can play unless you're going to put me in a performance capture suit and animate
Yeah.
me into something else. But for voiceover, I can play, little boys or
Hmm.
tough girls or, women like Akane who are a little sweeter or like weird creatures and zombies and like there's just no end to the variety. And so every day is different and
Hmm.
that makes it super fun and super interesting and that's why it's my favorite thing.
I feel like variation is like the medicine to keep passion for anything going, so it'll never get stale that way.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. And what advice would you lend to somebody who hopes to get into voice acting or voiceover professionally someday?
I would say that despite what I just said about being able to become somebody else, try to focus on your own voice first. Voice acting is acting, so you have to be able to act and perform, and you'll likely be cast with something close to your natural speaking voice more often than anything else, than putting on a crazy voice of some sort.
Hmm.
So I would say to make sure you're comfortable performing in your voice. And if you're doing a demo, put something that sounds the closest to you first on your demo, and then find out what other skills you can do and work on those. Like, can you do accents? Do you do creature voices? Can you do animal noises? Can you do high-pitched characters or little boy voices or whatever it may be? Find what you're good at in those skill sets and then hone those skills because those will then add, a more diverse set of roles that might be available to you.
Awesome. I think that's excellent advice. So we always like to like cap off an interview like this by asking, because we are Shoujo Sundae, what is your favorite flavor of ice cream?
Oh, it is like ice cream sundae. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, I used to be a chocolate only kid, but now that I'm an adult, I've had like pistachio, matcha,
Hmm.
and most recently I had Earl Grey ice cream. Have you ever had it?
No, but I would
No.
love to
It's
try it.
so good. So
Oh
that's my
man,
flavor of the month is Earl Grey. I love
Yeah.
it.
I
that's
need to try
awesome.
that out. Like that, the taste, like I'm very interested in how the taste is.
It tastes like Earl Grey tea, but it's sweet. And like, you know how
Mm,
you sometimes put milk in your tea? It's
yeah.
ice cream, so it already has that creaminess. Oh, it's so good.
That sounds so good. It's like I have like Earl Grey is like the only flavor of tea I regularly keep, and so I'm like,
Oh,
can I make it somehow? I'll find a way.
yeah, you can
Mm.
Oh, that's
if you
great.
have an
I'm gonna
ice
look
cream
that up
maker.
immediately. Yeah. All right. Well, are there any projects that you would like to promote that are coming out maybe around mid-May because that's when this is going to be releasing?
So the Demon Slayer movie is coming out later this year, September
Awesome.
Woohoo!
12th. I believe it will be in theaters. Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba, Infinity Castle, Arc Part 1 will be in
Nice.
theaters. And then also, they just announced last week that Dandadan Season 2 will be in theaters, the first three episodes of the second season. And I
Nice.
believe dub and sub this time.
Yes.
So last
Nice.
time
Okay.
it was
Yeah.
sub only, but I think dubbed will be in theaters
Oh,
as
that's
well.
great. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us today, Abby. It
Yeah.
was awesome getting to know you. We have some stuff in common. I didn't expect that. That's awesome. So, as we're getting into our little outro here, where can our listeners follow you online to keep up with all of your projects?
I am on most things at Abby Trott, except TikTok, I'm at Abby.Trott.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you one last time to Abby for joining us. This was so much
Yay.
Yeah.
fun.
Thank
Thanks for having
you.
me. Great chatting with you guys.